So, Satisfied. Satisfied is one of those songs I really had to think about how it could relate to the topic of human trafficking, this musical masterpiece by Lin-Manuel, and how it blends still together. Now, this is one of my favorite tracks on the entire disc, both 1 and 2, as well as the play itself. Satisfied kind of feeds more into what I would say is my personality. I'm someone that always has had very big dreams, very big goals, and most of my dreams seem unobtainable for most people. And I'm very much going to also talk about being like a Lewis Carroll fan of dreaming of 10 impossible things before breakfast. I have that kind of Alice spirit to me. But Satisfied is a song that really explores Angelica's perspective as trying to be the woman that makes the difference, trying to be the woman that beats the odds, takes care of everybody else, and leads the way. And Angelica kind of gets the short end of the stick in a lot of different ways, but ultimately she is protected. I don't know much about her actual marriage when she does go on to like marry wealthy and overseas, but you do know the story of Hamilton later on cheating on Eliza. And this could be a way where things worked out better for her because she, while being in love with Alexander Hamilton, didn't have that experience. As far as relating it back to just being a woman, there is a few lines that when she's giving this speech at the wedding of her responsibilities, it really hits home for me. And I think this is one way that when we are protecting younger women, and even women in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, of breaking down society pressures on how our relationships are supposed to go, what is expected of us in society. And Angelica is straight out of the gate is saying, like, my only job is to marry rich. And this is a fundamental truth. And I'm the eldest daughter. In my book, Her Wounded Masculine, I have a poem that is called The Eldest Daughter, and just the pressures that come with trying to elevate your family financially and bring a foundation to that and protect all of your siblings. So she pointing out is like, there's no sons, it's on me. I've got a social climb. Like, I've got to be very smart and protect everyone around me. So I'm the oldest and the wittiest, and the gossip in New York City is insidious. I love that line so much. And she's being very practical that the person that she chooses, that she wants and admires, he doesn't have any money. And that does make an impact. So she has to like really consider, okay, I'm in love, but I can't really marry for love. And human trafficking or even society pressures really tell you that you need to go and marry well off, especially if your family doesn't have the means to take care of themselves, like an immigrant would, or somebody else that's in poverty. And that is something that traffickers will look for to target young girls is they'll come in and they'll swoop them off their feet and they'll promise them the world and they'll lavish them with gifts and then they'll turn around and exploit them in the end. That doesn't necessarily happen in the musical, but it does happen in real life. And at the end of the day, if I'm having to choose what this podcast is really about, it's not about the musical and my admiration, but about the advocacy of human rights and protecting these young people and just individuals all over the world against this crime. So that is where I kind of get into a little bit more of myself and a concept called survivor guilt. I feel this kind of sisterly pull that I have to protect my siblings in the same type of way that I have to protect victims and survivors. Now, I have my boundaries. I'm never going to cross my boundaries, but I went through a phase of survivor guilt where I didn't understand why I was no longer part of this, even though I was thankful and not having to live it every day. But why me? Why did I make it out? Why am I able to even take the stage and talk about this to other people? And I felt terrible knowing that a lot of what happened to me was still happening all over the world, even to people that I know. And that is very hard to ultimately wrap your head around. So this is the same similar, I would say, parallel energy to like seeing this distance between what you would like to see reality as and what it actually is. So Angelica's feeling that in this wedding and in this toast, and I'm feeling it in the sense of like, I want better for these people. I want better for my sisters and my brothers, and just to see everybody happy and satisfied. So that's how I took my shot here. It's a little bit of a reach, but it did give me the opportunity to really bring in some of this advocacy and help see this as a different frame of mind. That's my best shot.